Hi parents and students. Ms. Kitchings and I just wanted to explain a few things that are happening in math right now, and one of the big things is that your students have started multiplying fractions, and don't freak out, it's not as scary as it appears. But we wanted to let you know that since the state did change our standards, we have one new one that's a little more complicated sometimes than it looks. The standard says that I will represent and solve multiplication of a whole number and a fraction that refers to the same whole using objects and pictorial models, including an area model. The big issue here for a lot of kids is they really just want to go straight to just show me how to do it. And what the state is really wanting us to focus on is that they're going to represent it with a model. And so this week we've been teaching your students the three models that we know that the state wants us to teach. And they are a repeated addition or strip diagram model, an area or array model, and then the open number line model. And I'm going to demonstrate all three of these for you and then show you how it fits into what we call the standard algorithm or the way it's been taught for the last few decades. Alright, so we're going to start with the problem 3 times 4/5. And I'm actually going to use this problem on every single model. So with a repeated addition, what I'm basically saying is that's 3 groups of 4/5. So I could actually say that means 4/5 plus 4/5 plus 4/5. So multiplication is just repeated addition. So we can repeatedly add and get 12/5. Now your students will tell you, that's great, we got an answer, but we have to make sure that it's in simplified form, which means we have to change the improper fraction to a mixed number. The kids are really good at doing this. They know that 5 will go into the 12 2 times with 2 of the 5 pieces left over. Now how you do it with the strip diagram is you take a strip and you're going to split it into 5 parts. That's your denominator. And you're going to shade in 4. And you're going to do that until you have 3 groups of those. And so that you can see that you have 4/5 here, 4/5 here, and 4/5 here, and it equals 12/5, which again is equivalent to 2 2/5. The area model is sometimes a little tricky. A way I've taught my kids to think about it is to think about how it's worded here, and to always put the first number on the left and the second one on the top. And that kind of helps them know which one to do first. So here in our problem, the 3 is on the left. So I'm going to draw a box, and on the left, I'm going to label it 3, and I'm going to split it into 3 groups. Now I'm not shading anything yet, because I haven't touched the fraction. And we've been telling our kids, don't shade until you're messing with that fraction. The fraction goes on the top, so I'm going to label that 4/5, which means I now have to divide this into fifths and shade in 4 of them. 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to shade down because this is on top, and so I'm shading down. So that's 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5. And each one of these boxes represents 1/5. So if I counted up all of these boxes, I would end up with 12/5, which again, they would simplify to 2 2/5. So they're seeing how the same model can come up with the same answer, just showing it differently. The last model that we did is called an open number line model. And basically we try to explain to the students that our number line can go forever in both directions. And when we're working with multiplication, we can make hops of a distance. So your whole number will always be how many hops you will need to take. your fraction will always tell you how much distance each hop will be. So we always start at 0. And in this problem, I'm jumping of a distance of 4/5. So my very first hop that I take will land me on the number 4/5. Now when I take my second hop, I still have to do a distance of 4/5. So 4/5 more would be 8/5. And at this point, most of our students have started to realize how they're really getting that numerator, and they're really starting to put it together. So we'll do one more hop, which takes us to 12/5. And we circle that because that is our answer. And again, change it because it's an improper fraction to 2 2/5. And at this point, the students have now started to really connect what is actually happening when we do this. Now, when I was growing up, they just told us the standard algorithm. And they told us multiply the numerator times the whole number and divide it by the denominator. And that's awesome because that is the algorithm. This is why it works, though. And that's really what we want students to be able to see and to be able to understand, is the how it works and the why it works. Tomorrow, actually, we are going to be discussing that standard algorithm. Well, we will take 3 times 4/5 and know that we're doing 3 groups of 4/5, which is 3 times 4 divided by the denominator. So we will actually go into this is why it's working, and this is the evidence that we've seen that it has worked. We really hope that this has helped. This is for us sometimes a little hard because it's not been taught in 5th grade ever. And so we really needed to also sit down and look at this ourselves. But if you have any questions, if you have any concerns about this, please just let both of us know, either me or Miss Kitchings. We will be glad to help you out. And we hope y'all have a great day. Thanks.